Hello, my wonderful viewers, and welcome to another episode of Betty Adams Overanalyzes. Today we're going to take another look at Kaiju number 8. Now, this look will be full of spoilers all the way up through chapter 55, so if you haven't read that far, you should click away now. Specifically, I want to talk about what happens pretty much at the end of the chapter. So, in order to give you time to click away, I'll tell you to go to the links below the video to check out my books, Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data, and Humans Are Weird, We Took a Vote, available in paperback, ebook, audiobook, at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and pretty much wherever books are sold now. They're even being carried at Walmart, which was a surprise to me. So, Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data, and Humans Are Weird, We Took a Vote. Go check out those links. Now, back to Kaiju number 8. Now, there is this interaction between Captain Jinrumi of the 1st Division and Kafka right near the end of the chapter that is really just wonderful. Now, when I first saw this, I was very much in the mindset of the Defense Force still considering Kafka a kaiju, still considering him not human, not to be treated as an officer anymore, but rather to be treated as a kaiju threat. But this scene gives us a new way to look at that. Clearly, at the very least, Captain Narumi of the 1st Division and the High Command, now they see Kafka as a human, as an officer wielding a weapon rather than as a kaiju that thinks it's a human. And that's a major shift into the entire dynamic. One has to wonder how much of this is the lingering loyalty to General Director Shinamaya, because General Director Shinamaya went into this when he first stomped onto the stage, we were all set to hate him as the main antagonist for Kafka, except that afterwards, after we figured out what he was doing, looking back, from the beginning, at least from the time that Kikoru confronted him, General Director Iso Shinamaya was looking at Kafka as one of his officers, as a human being that he had to save from a very tragic fate. And General Director Shinamaya strapped on his Kaiju number 2 gauntlets and went in there and literally put his life on the line, shaved years off the end of his life in order to give Kafka that chance. And now we have this sudden 180 from the rest of the Defense Force. So I don't think it's any stretch of the imagination to say that this shift in perspective of the Defense Force High Command looking at Kafka as a human that's not only to be respected as a human, but treated and protected as a human, a lot of that must be due to it's kind of a posthumous gift to General Director Shinamaya. They're like, okay, this is how you saw that. We're going to align ourselves with your perspective. Now that we see this through the eyes of Captain Narumi, and we don't know exactly how much the rest of the Defense Force will be in on this, but Captain Narumi, it seems that he's acting against the advice of his elders, so there's a good chance that the rest of the Defense Force High Command, those who knew and loved General Director Shinamaya, have also accepted this view of Kafka. What we have here is a Defense Force officer who's been put in a very awkward situation, and we've got to do the best by him. So, I really haven't even gotten into the scene yet, but that thought about perhaps the change in perspective comes from the fact that this was probably not Captain Shinamaya, General Director Shinamaya's last wish. So they're respecting General Director Shinamaya's last wishes here. Keep Kafka alive, allow him to use Kaiju number 8 as a weapon to defend Japan. To the scene itself. Anyway, as I said at the beginning, my mentality was so stuck in the Defense Force seeing Kafka as a threat, as a kaiju that needed to be eliminated, that I'd missed that shift. So when I first read this scene, I was thinking of this as Narumi offering his trust to kaiju, as the Captain Narumi saying, you might turn into a kaiju and go rogue, but I'm going to trust you anyway. But then one of my commenters on a YouTube video, One Tang Ho, sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, pointed out that actually this was an act of ruthless, pragmatic practicality on Captain Narumi's life. On Captain Narumi's part, that he's essentially asking Kafka to die for the cause. And Kafka is, of course, 100% willing to do that. But it really made me switch my perspective. So here we have Captain Narumi. Kafka's out there sitting on the roof. Captain Narumi comes and sits down beside him, starts talking. And from the beginning, you see that Captain Narumi is dealing with a Defense Force officer. He's like, I'm sure you know the reason why, recognizing Kafka's intelligence and his reason. If you keep transforming, you might lose the ability to return to human form, Again, this is a major shift. Captain Narumi isn't looking at a Kafka here, at a kaiju here. He's not talking to a kaiju here. He's talking to Kafka Haibino, a human being. And for us in the story, they've been through so much together, it makes sense. But in real time, it's only been a few days since Captain Narumi was talking about the best thing to do would be to make a weapon out of Kaiju number 8. So Captain Narumi said to Kafka's face not too long ago, I'm just going to kill you and use your body as a weapon. And now he's saying, Captain Narumi's addressing Kafka as a person and talking about Kafka's own safety. He said, I can't let someone continue to fight in that condition. This is an act of concern for Kafka's well-being as a human. And then we get the toss-up that everybody saw coming. That being said, with all that in mind, let me say, lend me your power, Kafka Haibino. Again, Captain Narumi is addressing him by his name. He's addressing him as a human, but he's asking him to risk his life, which, given what the working in the Defense Force entails, is actually not that much more intense than what they do on a day-to-day basis anyway. But given the fact that they think that Kafka is slowly transforming more and more into a kaiju, that he's taking the possibility of death and turning it into an almost guarantee of death. That if they can't take out number 9 fast enough, Kafka's going to lose the ability to transform into a human, and Captain Narumi just says flat out, I'll kill you. But again, this whole interaction is Captain Narumi treating Kafka as a fellow officer, as a human being worthy of respect. So even though Captain Narumi is saying, let's deliberately create a situation where I will probably have to kill you, this is a completely different 180 turned on its head interaction than they had in the General Director's office when they first met. And of course, Kafka agrees to do with this, and you just get this really sweet moment where Kafka recognizes that everything the General Director did for him. And then they go off, of course, to take the initiative against Kaiju number 9. And that was just a wonderful scene. It was, again, it's deep. It really illustrates Matsumoto's ability to create one perspective and then give you a scene that follows logically from what came previously, and then turn it on its head, and turn your perspective on its head. So what do you think, my wonderful viewers? Do you think Captain Narumi is 100% down with Kafka being a human? Now, Captain Narumi is very blasé about certain things, not usually about his job, but we just saw him previously harden himself and go against his natural inclinations to promise to be the hard case that Kikoru needed to train. And now here he is going against his inclination to protect Kafka, and he's hardening himself to ask Kafka to die for him. Now, but here's the question. This is a question I've been asking from the first time we saw Kafka and Captain Narumi interact. Now that Captain Narumi thinks of Kafka as a person, respects him as an officer, came to Kafka and asked for his help. That's a real act of humility on Captain Narumi's part. Will Captain Narumi actually be able to kill Kafka if the transformation ever fully progresses? So if the situation where they have a 100% kaijuified Kafka. Now, after seeing Captain Narumi interact with what they were presuming to be the 100% kaijuified General Director, yeah, probably Captain Narumi had a much, much closer relationship with General Director Shinamaya than he could probably ever develop with Kafka. So probably Captain Narumi would be able to take out Kafka. But what if there was a hint? What if it was a toss-up? What if Kafka transforms but still has his human mind? What if he can't resume his human body and he's just stuck physically? What's going to happen? This raises so many questions. So what do you think? If it comes down to it, will Captain Narumi really be able to kill Kaiju number 8? Leave a comment telling me what you think below. Hit that like and subscribe button, and peace out, my wonderful viewers. Humans are weird. We took a vote, and humans are weird. I have the data. 2 books in a series of human absurdity. Go check out these short story collections. What will our little green friends think of us when we finally do make it to space? Find out the answer in 2 books of human absurdity. Humans are weird, we took a vote, and humans are weird, I have the data. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, and Google Play.